From 3 to 6, we allow this child to take the initiative. Here, to make goals, to choose. They begin to see that they have agency. And they begin to understand, too, that there are consequences for these choices. This is very important. But if we don't allow them to make choices, they feel guilty about it later on in life because they were not allowed. It's like something is wrong. I'll do it for you. Here, I'll do it. Allow the child their little choices and see that they're into choices. And then they get direction and purpose. In 6 to 12, this is so very important. You look up there. That's industry versus inferiority. Industry versus inferiority. A person learns to work. They learn to struggle. They learn to defer gratification. They learn to save and to buy with their savings. And if a person doesn't learn to earn and doesn't learn to work, they feel inferior because they do not develop the skills that are required to survive in this environment. And 6 to 12, if your children haven't got a lot of responsibility in the home, then I think that's a grave error, within reason. To know how to handle responsibility, you've got to have responsibility. But not my teeny tot, not my little Herkimer. Little Herkimer, oh no, I had to work when I was a kid, and I swore that I would not ever have my kids work like I had to work. Man, that is the curse of the generation. Some of these people out of the Depression, guess what they were saying? Boy, my kids will never have to work like I did. And they didn't. And they did not develop the sense of integrity. They did not develop the self-esteem that comes from being able to work and earn. A lot of people have said that the ability to earn is your self-worth. Now that can be carried way too far because that's got nothing to do with real worth. But esteem is built up and is supported by the fact that I can support my family. I can take care of myself. I have skills. I can get along in this world. But we're raising little Herkimer here. Why? He's got to do his studies. And he's on the soccer team. And he's on this other team. And little sister has to take ballet right after piano. And we got these little turkeys running all over the world, but they don't have any work. And mama's picking up their room and cleaning the toilet that they use and preparing the meals, doing everything, providing everything in the world. And then we raise them through this age, and we get them up into here, and we've allowed them to be on what we call teenage retirement. Teenage retirement is a condition, a malady that's inflicted upon children by messed up parents. All right? Wherein the child has everything in the world provided for them. Everything. The TV, the bedding, the beds, everything. Transportation, all the sports equipment. Just open the closet. There's 180,000 games. Bedding, telephones, television, curlers, you name it. Everything is provided. The toilet paper fairy magically appears and puts the toilet paper on the roll. Because nitwit, you set it in the bathroom, they never figured out how to work that roll thing. And if mama doesn't put it, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? At any rate, basically, that child does nothing. And here a child is very egocentric up in here, and they're thinking magically, non-logical in this age group here, before age 8 about. And they're non-logical. And nature provided that they should be very egocentric. That kid has no clue that you got a migraine headache. They cannot put themselves in your place. They cannot feel empathy for other people yet at these ages, these early ages. Got no clue for you. They don't give a toot about your mental health. They don't care whether they drive you off to Happy Neverland in a straitjacket or not. They're going to say, why, one more time. And that just might be it. You know, and that just does it for you. They do not care. They're not into that. Now, we reinforce this egocentric thinking far beyond a healthy limit. Back in here, the child should be doing initiative stuff. But here they start to work. They really, really start to work. And if we raise a teenager into here that's still thinking nothing but themselves and only about themselves, that's not doing anything, we're part and parcel responsible for that tragedy. And we raise children that go out at age 18 or 19 to college that don't know how to hold down a job, don't know how to apply a job, and some of them don't know how to comb their hair or how to dress or how to address an employer. They have absolutely no skills at all. They don't know about a checkbook, a banking account, budgeting, fixing meals, cleaning up, clothes. They know nothing, some of them. I was a head resident in a girls' dormitory. Well, I was married, and there was 235 girls in this dormitory. And one of the girls came to me and said, Mr. Jones, can you please tell me, how do I mop a floor? Because there are mothers out there, people, who find that it's too much trouble to have that kid learn how to cook. They make too big a mess. And mama can do it better herself, faster herself. And there are some girls that come out of some of these homes where the home is immaculate and the kid has no skills. People, when you have a family and you get a house, the neatest house in the world is not what life is all about. When the children look back and they're age 15, they look back at you, are they going to say, Mom, thank you for such a neat house? I really appreciate how you kept the bathroom, how you scrubbed out the sink, and how you did all of these things. I really appreciate how nice the lawn was cut. And I mean, within certain limits, isn't that okay? Mom, you taught me order, you taught me how to work, that's great. What's really going on in life that isn't happening? The relationships. We're not building the relationships. And part of what we're going to talk about today is how we are alienating these kids and not satisfying their basic needs. Age 6 to 12, Mom and Dad, what should you really be thinking about? What's the essential task according to Erickson? What is it? It's to learn to work, to see a job through, to have a sense of pride, a sense of competence, to develop the skills to get along in life. A lot of this has to do with school skills, but a lot of it has to do with other stuff. And I can remember I was about 8, 9, something like that, and the folks put me out in the backyard to clean the backyard. And it was a huge backyard, acres. And I had to clean all the apricot tree leaves. And we raised rabbits. It was during the war for meat. And I had to get all those little round deals up off the floor. And I can remember, and I went back as an adult to see that. It was only about this big, you know. But I can remember pushing that lawnmower in that front. It was just a little teeny postage stamp lawn. But I can remember up here pushing that lawnmower and doing that because I liked that. I like to do that. And I had all the rake marks just right under the tree. And a leaf would fall down again when I was almost done. I'd go pick it up and then rake out my footprints. And boy, that was just so neat. And I stood back and looked at that. And it was only about this big, folks. I'm not kidding. Wow. And I thought, boy, that feels good. I really worked hard. And look what I was able to do. Was that a sense of power? Was that a sense of skill? Was that a sense of inferiority? Or was it a sense of industry? And my dad and mom come out and say, hey, that's good. That's really good. Now go do the front yard. Okay. And I used to get up on Saturday morning and fix the folks' breakfast. And you can say that's dumb, but I enjoyed it. Is that goofy? I felt like they liked me if I did that. Kind of a pleaser thing, kind of a sick thing. I got a little problem with that, okay? But I can remember thinking, you know, I feel better working, and when I work and get a job, I feel better than when I'm out playing. Talk about a sick kid, right? No. Can you see, though, there's a place for that? What if a child won't play? Now, in my home, I kind of got a message. Don't be a child. And so I was the oldest, and a lot of times in the sibling position, which some people feel is the most important aspect of who you are, is how you were raised as a first child or a middle child or a last child, and how it affects your relationship and how you parent. That's a very important thing. But I can remember as I was able to get the feeling of industry, get the feeling, a sense of working, that I felt accepted by my folks. I felt like they approved of me, all right? Now, that's not always healthy, but it's okay there. All right, now, identity versus role confusion. Let's look at that. Erickson suggests that between 12 and 18, a child now has gotten into formal operational thinking, okay? They can now think in abstracts and think about what they're thinking about and go through lots of stuff that these earlier kids could not. Now, from about 8 on, they get logical. Prior to age 8, kids are magical. There's Santa Claus, and there's these great giants in their life. If mom wills it so, it can be so. Moms provide everything. Moms can do everything. You get hurt, you run to who? Mom, because she will fix it or kiss it or whatever. All right? And that'll make it all better. So kids are very non-logical, very egocentric, very magical thinking. They're not logical at all. Around age 8, something begins to happen, and they begin to be able to think in a lot different sense. Okay?